We're getting some comments from Janet Yellen, which Steve Leisman told us to look out for earlier today. Hey, Steve.
Good morning, Carl. In her first major speech, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen calling for a global minimum corporate tax, saying the world needs to reverse what she calls a 30-year race to the bottom when it comes to corporate taxes. Says she plans to work with G20 nations beginning this week with the IMF meetings to establish some floor for corporate taxes. It's unclear what the rate will be, but the Biden administration, as you know, has proposed raising the U.S. corporate tax to 28% from 21%. In her speech, she will say, competitiveness is about more than how U.S. headquartered companies fare against other companies in global merger and acquisition bids. It's about making sure that governments have stable tax systems that raise sufficient revenue to invest in essential public goods and respond to crises. Now, a Treasury official who asked not to be named said a global minimum can be enforced through U.S. legislation that prohibits inversions and companies from declaring tax havens as their addresses. The U.S. could also deny company deductions from tax havens that do not meet the global corporate minimum standard. Now, in her speech, Yellen criticizes the Trump administration for what she calls stepping back from the world stage. She's pledging to reassert U.S. leadership in these international institutions, saying America first must never mean America alone. Says the U.S. will defend democracy and the human rights of all people. On the critical issue of China, Yellen says the U.S. relationship will be collaborative at times, competitive at times, and adversarial where it needs to be. She added that solving the refugee crisis requires stable, secure, and global growth. Finally, she repeated her call for the issuance of $650 billion in special drawing rights from the IMF to help poor countries.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.